Welcome to another edition of Hey Yo with D. Shelton. I am the host of this show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, Delrico Shelton. As always, we are sponsored by Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cupcakes and cake pops in the DV area. Small, female, black-owned business in Southern Maryland. You can reach them at row_sweets_LLC on both Facebook and Instagram. And Row is spelled R-O. You can also contact them at rosesweetsllc@gmail.com. And once again, as you saw by the graphics, thank you, Riverside.fm, for giving me the ability to get this face and this voice to the masses via Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio. If you want to give them a shout out, go ahead and look them up. And you can also get in this podcast world. And please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with D. Shelton. Once again, those three words: like, share, subscribe to Hey Yo with D. Shelton. And guess what? I got a website. That will be www.heyyodshelton.com. Just how it sounds. H like Harry, E like Edward, Y like yellow, O like Oscar, D like David, S like Sam, H like Harry, E like Edward, L like Larry, T like Tom, O like Oscar, N like Nancy.com. You can see and hear all of the podcast episodes that I have done at that website. And if you want to, throw your boy some ducats and contribute and donate, on that website, there is a donate button. It says, buy me a coffee. Your boy does like his coffee, particularly when I have a sweet tooth, go to Starbucks, something like that. But if you want to contribute, go ahead. It is a secured payment site. So no, I'm not going to see your info. So go ahead and do that for your boy. If you want to follow me on social media, yes, I will be on Instagram more often. Hey underscore, sorry. Hey Yo D Shelton on Instagram. Hey Yo D Shelton. And there's a bunch of underscores. So hey underscore yo underscore with underscore D Shelton. But my main social media account is on TikTok. Just look up Hey Yo D Shelton and you're going to see me. Also on Blue Sky. Hey Yo D Shelton .bsky.social. Starting to get more into doing things there as well. I don't do the social media thing too much. But the team said you need to do more, so I guess I got to listen to them. You know what I mean? I guess. I mean, dang. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's the team clapping and whatnot. Them soul claps, I guess. But how y'all been doing? It's been a couple weeks. Y'all ain't hear my voice since the day after the Super Bowl. I know. I promise I will be on twice a week. I'm going to get to that. But sometimes, as I told y'all in previous episodes, sometimes you just got to sit back, collect your emotional and mental, and just see what the heck's going on. And the one thing I know about what's going on is America is going to America. I'm going to say it again. America is going to America. We got so much stuff going on. We got planes falling out the sky, civil unrest, Doodoo Don, Agent Orange, Donald Trump, and billionaire boy Elon Musk are the majority of the cause of everything. So, let's just kind of get into it, to be honest. There's a lot that people have asked me. How do I feel? What do I feel? And let's be crystal clear. The stuff that President Trump, for all the MAGA folk that's listening to me, I'm gonna say it that one time. Doodoo Don is more like it. He's done so many executive orders that you don't know what's real and what's not. He's been struck down by judges and courts left and right. He's pretty much him and JD Vance are threatening, damn the courts. I'm the law. Only the attorney general and the president can determine what the law is. That's some king shit. And he even put on his social media, Truth Social, long live the king with a crown on it, with a AI picture of him with a crown. And people are really starting to see what black people, the 92% black women and the 80% of black men, have been saying forever. And I'll get into that in a little bit, in a little rant, for all the leftists and other people that still wondering where are black people. But let's talk about this here when it comes to Doodoo Don. He's considered so much. First off, depending on the poll numbers, and there's quite a plenty. His approval rating is in the toilet already. It's just been basically 6 weeks. Seems like 60 damn years, but it's just been 6 weeks. And dare I say, because this is kind of part of the black people, which I am part of. I'm a black man born in America, know the difference of why black people said, okay, y'all got it. We're sitting back. Because one, we know a setup when we see it. I might as well get into it now. We know a setup when we see it. It's amazing to me that when we're not out there, there's no hardly any police, no SWAT, no dangerous posturing when it comes to police. As soon as we show up, here comes the danger, danger, danger. Supposedly, where the BLM protest was going, 92% of those were actually peaceful. The 7% that wasn't was caused by white supremacists and people just being dumb, wanted to start some shit. And of course, if you start some shit, the cover is always going to be black people. For people of color that are wondering where black people are, you have to do the work for yourself. And I'm speaking directly to, I will admit, my Latino brothers and sisters. You have to clean up your house. I keep saying it. Latinos for Trump, your family's still getting deported. Latinos, my Latino brothers and sisters, you have to clean up your house. We cannot fight for you. You have to do it. And so far, you're starting to do it. I saw protests in LA and a couple other spots. Still doesn't hit the same without black people, to be perfectly honest, but it is what it is. At least you're starting. You're starting to get it. We are not going to be the shields for everybody. We would not be the human shields. No, sirree, Bob. We have been fighting for over 400 years. I said it once and I say it again. We technically became free with the Civil Rights Act in 1965. That, if I recall, came in effect in 1967. That's when everybody got the same rights. Civil rights, to be perfectly exact. I am Gen X. We are the first generation born to have all of our rights intact. Even though Doodoo Don and the billionaire class are trying to roll these back. They're trying to take us back to a time where, quote unquote, make America great again. When was it ever great for black people? And I'm speaking directly to Blacks for Trump. because you all are getting fired now because of DEI and being replaced by unqualified white men. White women, you're being fired too and being replaced by unqualified white men, as black people warned you about. You see, what pisses me off is it's the dog whistle, DEI. Why don't you ever say the words? You know why you won't say the words? Because it will make you feel and it seems very, very stupid. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Who wouldn't want that? And MAGA, conservatives, white people, even some black people, again, blacks for Trump, still bitching about the halftime show about Kendrick Lamar. And I say it once, I say it all the time. Now you want DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's also amazing to me that when black people sit down and say, you know, we got it, y'all got it, we chilling. Everybody wants to be in black people's business. But then again, everybody's always in our business. You always want to be in a circle. You always want to know what we're doing. That's that insecurity. That's that insecurity and subconscious insecurity that mediocre white men and subordinate white women have. To Karens, let's be real. You've always been that way. So you complained about a halftime show. If you went over your head, it was not for you. There was no white dancers. No, there wasn't. There's been plenty of a halftime show that didn't have black people. You can go through the history of the Super Bowl and see it. And ironically, the reason why the Super Bowl shows are the way it is because of a, dare I say, diverse TV show. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. The show is called In Living Color. See, I'll give you a history thing. The halftime show was boring for the Super Bowl. So I can't remember the Fox executive that came up with the idea and hit up Keenan Ivory Wayans, who, by the way, the Wayans family got an NAACP award, well deserved, for their contributions to comedy and TV alike. But they came up with the idea of 15 to 20 minutes of the halftime show of putting on In Living Color to see if they could take some of that audience real quick. And it worked. You know how it worked? The next year, the greatest entertainer of all time, Michael Jackson, headlined the halftime show. And we've been doing it ever since. See how something started with diversity, equity, and inclusion? It made everything better, didn't it? But if you want to constantly not have any diversity and be mayonnaise, that's on you. But when black people build community, as we always tend to do, excuse me, but then you all come around and fuck it up, whether it be burning towels or try to colonize. And dare I say, I'm gonna say that word again. We need to start saying what it is. Stop saying hijack. They colonize the shit because they don't understand it. If they don't understand it, then they try to make it their own. And there again, here comes mayonnaise. So say the words. Just same way you hijack woke. What's the opposite of woke? It's to be asleep. See, woke is nothing but educating yourself. So if you want to be asleep, that means you want to be blind and dumb. You can be blind and dumb. When I was in school, right? And this is another thing that I think we need to get back to. Stop holding people's hands that are less intelligent. When I was in school, there were several different classes. There was the honors class, there was the regular classes, and then there was the slow people. A lot of the slow people are in the higher class now. You mixed it, and now everybody just. Have you ever talked to somebody that just is so damn stupid that after the conversation you feel like you stupid? That's MAGA to me. And you starting to figure it out little by little. And I'm saying the people that are breaking away from MAGA, the hashtag leaving MAGA, the hashtag regret my vote. You know what I'm saying? You starting to get it because what I'm seeing online, whether it be TikTok or Instagram or other places, I have a Twitter account technically, but I never use it, and don't ask me because I barely go on it. Because every time I go on it, I feel dirty. But back to what I'm saying. Republicans in the House and the Senate, their constituents are starting to get pissed because they square up and down. They didn't vote for this. And black people, such as myself, part of the 80% of black men and the 92% of black women, we told you what the fuck was going to happen. But no, you don't listen. You wanted cheaper eggs, supposedly. Eggs have skyrocketed. As a matter of fact, everything has skyrocketed. From groceries to the automotive industry. Everything's gotten more expensive. Your utility bills have gotten more expensive. What is it? Donald Trump did an executive order that messed up a grant that would help, particularly the people of Huntsville, Alabama. Either the Huntington or Huntsville, one of the two. I know it's in Alabama. And people wonder, why my electric bill so high? Because he took away that grant, that federal grant, that Elon Musk and his Doge pretty much eliminated what helped you out. So now you're getting hurt. And by you getting hurt, now you kind of starting to get it. See, the majority of, what dare I say, white people in the South are poor. I say it all the time. The red states in this country are traditionally poor. The only reason why Florida has some money is because of Miami, South Beach, which is a tourist spot, and freaking Disney World. Texas, which has a good surplus of cotton. Yeah, I said it. They still do cotton, but majority of their money comes from four cities: Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin. That's where the boom is in those cities. Don't believe me? Go ahead and look it up. The rest of the red states, poor. Take more federal money than they give. And Georgia, the only reason why Georgia has any resemblance of money is because of Atlanta. Guess where Atlanta is? It's black people. Without Atlanta, Georgia is fucking Alabama. I said what I said. I ain't taking it back. But they're starting to realize it. That, wait a minute, man. I didn't vote for this. You taking away programs. Remember, he said, I'm going to bring in jobs. If you fired federal employees left and right, you're going to cause, once again, a recession or full-on depression. I predict it is going to happen if they keep doing what they're doing by next summer. When the first jobs report come out in the next couple of months, oh, it's going to be high as hell. because Doge and Donald Trump are laying off whole departments, which is something Congress is supposed to do. This is why Republican constituents are getting pissed off because they're getting affected by it. The VA, which Republicans swear we love our veterans. No, you don't, because you're cutting their benefits. They need help. I don't care. I've had people in the military. I have friends that were in the military. The one thing, I thank you for your service. But when you finish your service, they should be treated with respect and, dare I say, get benefits that they earned. But when they get home from their duty, Republicans traditionally cut the knees from under them. And you keep voting because of culture wars. I ask the question all the time: what does a trans person have to do with your money? And the trans community is only 1% of 340 million people that are supposedly in this country. What does a person of the alphabet community, and once again, I apologize, I can never say it right. Who do they sleep with or marry have anything to do with your money? It doesn't. So you see how stupid that sounds? I don't care what someone does in their bedroom. As long as they are a good person and not causing a muck, I don't care. I don't. So why should you? But the constituents are getting pissed off. Let me. You don't believe me? I'm gonna break out an article that I'm gonna somewhat read. This was courtesy of the New York Times. And this article was on February 23rd by Robert Jemison. It's titled "Republicans Face Angry Voters at Town Halls Hinting a Broader Backlash." About damn time. After this how it starts off. After a month-long honeymoon for the GOP at the start of the presidential Trump's term, lawmakers are confronting a groundswell of fear and dissatisfaction in districts around the country. Some came with complaints about Elon Musk, President Trump's billionaire ally, who's carrying out an assault on federal bureaucracy. Others demand guarantees that the Republicans in Congress would not raid the social safety nets. Still others chided that the GOP to push back against Mr. Trump's moves to trample constitutional powers of Congress. In other words, they're starting to wake up and realize, wait the fuck a minute. You said you were going to do this, but you're pretty much dismantling the government that helps me. And this is demonized by Ronald Reagan. Let me be perfectly clear as I'm staring into my camera. White people use more federal aid money than black people or any other person of color, particularly single white women. It's been that way for over 50 years. But because of Ronald Reagan putting the welfare queen, by the way, saying she used thousands of dollars, which it really, when you do the research, was only about 500, helped get him in office and kept the shit continuing. So the South in particular uses way more federal money and does not put it back into the pot. whereas states like California, Maryland, New York State, and New Jersey are paying for you to survive. Now, when Donald Trump takes these things away, you are instantly 100, damn that, 1,000% hooked. You remember when Mitch McConnell said out of his mouth, we should let states go broke? Kentucky about to be broke than a motherfucker. And all of a sudden, Mitch McConnell said he's not running and he's going to retire. Go fucking figure, because he helped cause this mess. Evil giblet man with that damn turkey neck. But yeah, let me read a little bit more. Continuing. When Representative Pete Sessions, Republican of Texas, arrived at a crowded community center on Saturday in a small rural town of Trinity in East Texas. Trust me on that one. It is white and white. He came prepared to deliver a routine update on the administrator's first month in office. Instead, he fielded a barrage of frustration and anger from constituents questioning Mr. Trump's agenda and his tactics, and pressing Mr. Sessions and his colleagues on Capitol Hill to do something about it. The executive can only enforce laws passed by Congress. They cannot make laws, said Deborah Norris, a lawyer who lives in Huntsville, arguing that the mass layoffs and agency closures Mr. Musk has spearheaded were unconstitutional. When you are going to wrest control back from the executive and stop hurting your constituents. Boom. For those that do not know how government works, let me break this down. I learned this in the 3rd grade. If you want to know, I was kind of in one of those classes that were some honor classes when I was in middle school. I can't remember which one was which, but it was for when I was in middle school back in Richmond. There was alpha, gamma, beta, and omega. I was in the second highest because of certain things. And the only reason why I was in the second highest is because when they did the test or whatever, I messed up on a few questions. So that's why I'm saying the intelligence level and the I always say the low intelligent is fucking the country up, because we have to hold your hand and be with everybody else, where you should be in the lower class, the remedial classes. Let me be frank. But they're starting to get it. You're starting to realize that the Republican Party, since Ronald Reagan, have not done shit for you but give you culture war after culture war and pointing the direction that everybody else's fault except your own and theirs, when they literally are trying to raise the debt ceiling to, I want to say, $4 trillion so they can give tax breaks to billionaires and corporations. Now, corporate Democrats, they ain't the greatest. You know what I mean? They'll raise the debt ceiling, but not like that, because the Republican Party, who has now the executive branch, the House, the Senate, and I remember on TikTok, this person had the nerve to say that Congress, the Senate, and the House of Representatives are not part of Congress. Congress is separate. This is how dumb people are. You don't believe me? You can go to my TikTok. You'll see that you got to scroll, but there's one comment, and I had to address it because I got it from somebody else. This is what we're dealing with right now. But back to what I learned in the 3rd grade. 3 branches of government: executive, legislative, judiciary. Congress, the legislative branch, which is the House of Representatives and the Senate, they make the laws. The president, who cannot make laws, signs it and makes sure the laws are enforced. The judiciary branch makes sure the laws that are passed by Congress and signed by the president. Make sure the laws are constitutional. Everybody is an equal branch. So there's checks and there's balances. That's it. There's 435 members of the House of Representatives. There are 50 members of the Senate. The president, the vice president, and his cabinet are the executive branch. The Supreme Court and the federal courts are the judiciary branch. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the land, which means when they go through arguments, and if it gets to them, because it has to go through a process from local to state to federal, so on and so forth. And then if it gets to them, they determine yes or no, this is constitutional. The vice president main duty is to break ties of the Senate. They are the president of the Senate. They cannot do any policy. Once again, the vice president is at the behest of the president of the United States. They cannot make policy. They are president of the Senate, so they can break ties in the Senate. And just what happens, last administration, Kamala Harris broke a record so many ties in the Senate, and one of those was the infrastructure bill that farmers who voted for Donald Trump lost out on when he, with a swipe of the pen election and swipe of a pen, got rid of that, and now farmers who voted for Donald Trump are fucked because 40% of their money was coming from U.S. aid. So their contracts are null and void. You get what you voted for. Oops. The people in the South in particular, these pockets. You get what you voted for. See, the problem is you thought it was not going to affect you. You thought it was going to affect black and brown. You thought that, oh yeah, mass deportation. Again, the culture war stuff. 75 to 80% of the agriculture picked in this country are done by undocumented and illegal immigrants. Who's going to pick these things? That means your grapes and your strawberries are going to go up, as they are doing right now. Your tariff war with Canada and Mexico. Your avocados, your tomatoes, that come from Mexico more than likely, goes up. And he lost the tariff war already. See, when you are a bully, the biggest thing I was taught as a kid, when you got a bully, punch them in the mouth. See what happens. Donald Trump got punched by both Canada and Mexico. By the way, our neighbors up north are actually preparing for war. And y'all think he's joking when he says the 51st state. He's not joking. Denmark is preparing for some shit. The whole European Union is preparing for some shit because he will not let this Greenland thing go. America's isolated because of one dude who you voted for. And I'm tired of the thing that everybody says. 50% voted for the country. No. A little over 77 million voted for Donald Trump. A little over 75 million people voted for Kamala Harris. There's 340 estimated million people in America. So that pocket is only 29%. Other people, the rest, sat on their ass. That deals with leftists too. It is amazing to me that all of a sudden the leftists who hijacked, let me stop, who colonized the word progressive, who actually is racist too, because they're anti-blackness and things, and the people of Gaza wanted Kamala Harris, but you kept going with this narrative of Kamala Harris being a part of genocide when she had nothing to do with it, because once again, the vice president does not have the power you think she does. Or he does. That's why you don't hear shit from J.D. Vance right now. Oops. Where are you at, leftists? There's a difference between liberal and leftist. I'll get into that in a different podcast. I will. Because I don't like leftists. I like liberals. I don't like leftists. You never have a plan. You talk off the side of your ass. But back to the main thing. Let me continue with the article. I like what you're saying, but you need to tell more people, Mr. Smith said. The guy in South Africa is not doing you any good. He's hurting you more than he's helping, he added, referring to Mr. Musk and drawing nods and applause from many in the room. In Trinity and in congressional districts around the country over this past week, Republican lawmakers returned home for the first congressional recess since Mr. Trump was sworn and faced similar confrontations with their constituents. As you can see, if you continue with the article, like I said, February 23rd, New York Times, Robert Jemison, he continues on how Republican lawmakers have to go back, and they thought that people were just going to say, it's okay. I posted this on TikTok. I said it. The best thing that probably actually for once happened in this country is for the 92% of black women and the 80% of black men to say, you know what? Y'all got it. You're going to get what you voted for. Fuck around and find out. By us not being marching or anything like that, it actually makes mediocre white men, subordinate ass white women, and the ilk realize and look like, wait a minute, the hell's going on? Because you have nothing to blame on. So you have to look at the party that's been fucking you forever. I saw on TikTok that one woman flipped over and said, we don't have a king. The forefathers designed it for we not to have a king. You're starting to wake up. It just somehow took black people to sit back and say, you know what? We're going to build our community. We're going to prepare for this because our ancestors and elders prepared us for this. It's recycled shit to black people. Just in a different format. It's recycled. So now what you going to do? So now you put the House of Representatives and senators that are Republicans in a bind. Do I go with the loyalty and bend the knee to Donald Trump, or do I listen to my constituents? I would suggest if you want to stay in office, you listen to your constituents. And Democrats, primarily women, especially AOC and Jasmine Crockett, are leading the charge. Wow. They're leading the charge. Democrats can just sit back and watch this whole thing implode if they want. And wait till the midterms. If there's going to be midterms. But no, if I'm Democrats right now, I will go in every Republican district. If I have eyes on a Republican seat, whether it be the House or the Senate, if I'm them right now, if they're really truthfully progressive, not corporate Democrats, come into these places and say, you know what? This is what's going on for real. This is what we want to do for you. Because the SNAP benefits, EBT, and all the other jive, housing, all that, is used majority by white people. So if it affects you, shouldn't you care who's really looking out for you instead of giving culture wars? Stop listening to white evangelicals who's teaching you the Bible wrong. Jesus was a socialist. He ain't preaching no hate. Love thy neighbor. That doesn't mean don't love thy neighbor because they're gay or they dress a little weird. Do unto others if you would have them do unto you. So in other words, you want someone to hate you. I don't think most people want someone to hate them. You see what I'm getting at? You see how stupid this stuff sounds? That's why I say the words diversity, equity, and inclusion. The only reason why Florida is not broke is because of Disney World and South Beach. That's it. DeSantis ran that thing to the ground, and pretty much Donald Trump would love to make America Florida. It ain't going to happen. His approval rating is in the toilet. But this is what we're dealing with. You got to wake up. And I'm seeing, like I said, in pockets, they're starting to wake up. They're starting to, dare I say, ask questions. Questions are good. Now, whether you get an answer, that's something different. And none of what I've seen online, none of these Republican senators and House of Representatives, these congressmen and women, have a direct answer because they want to keep their seat. They want to hold on to power. They want to pull the wool over your eyes. Guess what? The one thing that, see, I look at some silver lining. Can't blame brown people if they're getting deported. Can't blame black people if we're not there. So who you blame? Because it's been going around all a long time. Like I said, since Ronald Reagan days. Who can you blame? You blame yourself. Because you let everybody else distract you from what the real criminal is. By the way, 34 count felon who can't even go to countries. Britain's not, UK is not letting him in. United Kingdom can't stand Donald Trump. The European Union cannot stand Donald Trump. And guess what? By them, I want to say last Monday, they had a hearing, a meeting of the European Union to discuss one Donald Trump. Since the United States is not going to help Ukraine, and all of a sudden a whole lot of Russian talking points are coming out of the White House, European Union like, well, okay, we're going to help Ukraine. That's the plan. They're going to gather forces, and Russia like, shit. Putin is like, shit. You know who's also benefiting from Donald Trump's dumbassness? China. Those that went over red, no, they see how the Chinese are really living. They're coming right up. Oh, you got this trade thing? Okay, we got the same thing as the United States. Let's talk. Quiet as kept. They are making a whole lot of friends in Africa. Speaking of Africa, South Africa pretty much, and I got to confirm this because I see places where it says it's confirmed and other places say that South Africa does not want Elon Musk nowhere near its country. And that's a reason why USAID was the first department to pretty much get purged by Elon Musk and Doge. By the way, their website got hacked last week too. And they pointed out and posted classified information. Damn. But they won't let him back. Even the white people in South Africa are like, nah, we don't want this motherfucker back. He's an apartheid baby. If you don't know what apartheid, this is the other thing that pisses me off with MAGA and people that don't read shit. You say, well, prove it to me. Here's the information. You look it up your goddamn self. We're tired of teaching. Because if we teach and we show you, no, that's not real, look it up. You do it. You do it. We're tired. So that's the point. We're sitting back as a collective. Hey, Blacks for Trump, how you feeling since you got fired because they consider you DEI? Dummies. I want to say what I want, but I'm going to be cool. Because I want to say the C word, and it ends with N to you all. But hey, that's on you. You know, it's sad, man. It's so sad. And you know what else is sad before I get up out of here? First off, Rashida Jones, who was the first black female president of a major network, MSNBC, she left, I want to say a few days ago, even though her resignation was in January. But it came down I saw it yesterday, and it's true. MSNBC, their ratings have gone to the tank, and it's really going to hit the bottom of the barrel because Joy Reid's show, The Readout, is being canceled. I believe her last show is today, as I'm recording this, February 24th. Joy Reid, who always told the truth, whether you liked it or not, right? Whether you liked it or not, she told you the truth. And she always gave it to Doodoo Don, Agent Orange, Donald Trump. Her and Rachel Maddow. Okay. First off, she was an educator. She graduated from Harvard University. Harvard. In 1991. I mean, damn. Again, we have to be 10 times better to get half as much. And it seems like MSNBC, when it comes to black women, tends to get rid of their shows. So I'm either going to say because they're getting rid of Joy Reid, because of, quote unquote, a major shakeup at MSNBC. Remember, Tiffany Cross had a show a couple years back. Gone. So, as a black man that loves watching Joy Reid when he gets a chance, because this is the only show I really paid attention to on MSNBC, especially after the election. Because you told us this man was a fascist, and then Morning Joe goes to Mar-a-Lago would have been me. And we damn well we seeing he is a fascist with a bunch of oligarchs. But when you fire a woman whose show is one of the top rated shows on your network, by the way, it makes everybody pause for a sec. You know, like, what the fuck? And it's all over. It's all over it's the Hill, USA Today, CNN. CNN is saying, yo, man, what the fuck? Now, granted, they're supposedly, I'm trying to get the other young lady's name. They're going to replace her show with the weekend show, which was Simone Sanders Townsend, Michael Steele, and Alicia Menendez. The weekend is actually a decent show, you know. Journalist of the group is Alicia Menendez. Michael Steele used to be actually a Republican strategist. By the way, he's a black man. And he's the type of conservative or Republican I could have a conversation with because he has, dare I say, common sense and doesn't get into the culture war stuff. And then Miss Simone Sanders Townsend, I forgot, my apology, because, you know, she took on her husband's name. She was a Democrat strategist. Now, granted, their show is cool, but they're not Joy Reid. And there's a lot of rumors going around. Joy Reid didn't want to take a pay cut, blah, blah. Why should she? For 5 years, she's one of the best, if not highest rated shows on MSNBC. Make that make sense. It's amazing to me that she's getting replaced after Rashida Jones resigned as her purse, as her position. Excuse me. So now MSNBC's in scramble mode. So either they're going to capitulate and bend the knee to Donald Trump, or they're going to go super extreme. And if you're going to go super extreme, wouldn't you want the one black face? I'm sorry, that actually has their own show by themselves. And another thing that I don't think corporations understand, but Target's starting to understand it now, Walmart's starting to understand it now, and a few others, that the black dollar and the black experience and the black eyes and the black engagement is very, very important for you to make your money. See, what a lot of people don't know is that black people, such as myself, we actually consume information more than anybody else. This is why the 92% is so important. And I'm speaking of black women. This is why the 80% of black men is so important, because we, even though you may not go to college, but we understand the basics of some shit because of our experience. So what we're seeing is you're taking someone that has our experience, who looks like us, away from us for what? Because of a shakeup? Make that make sense. You've already taken, like I said, 3 other black women away over the course of what? 3-4 years? Joy Reid's time slot was just 7 p.m. Eastern. It's one of the highest rated shows. What's the excuse? I get it. Because she keep on fucking with Doodoo Don and pointing out facts and more facts and facts upon facts. And again, she's an educator. So she speaks to people the way a person with, dare I say again, common sense could understand. She had people come on her show that speak factual stuff. See, what's going on in the world of legacy media, particularly on TV, is that I already know the blueprint. You take a story, more than likely something Donald Trump did. You have a bullshit ass panel to state opinions on something. I can't remember the dude's name on CNN, Republican person, and I remember a woman when Elon Musk did the Nazi salute, let's call it what it is, and she called him out and said, "Do it now. It's not, do it. Do it right now on national TV." He wouldn't do it because he knew what it was. But you're playing in our face. Steve Bannon did it the other day. You're trying to play in our face saying we're seeing something, but it's not really what we see. There's bullshit. Just utter bullshit. We know what we're seeing. We know what we know. So when you take away someone that looks like us, that speaks to us, and speak to liberals, not leftists, even to speak to some Republicans that are centralists really, but slightly to the right, we got a problem. You're rolling back some shit that all of a sudden black people are not on TV that has superior intellect, and we're not just there to entertain you. Because that seems like what Donald Trump wants to do is erase black history and the history of America, which is vile, and try to make it seem like America is all beautiful and suns and rainbows and shit. No. And MSNBC to me is helping in that by canceling a beautiful sisters show. For what? Now, granted, MSNBC's ratings have went down across the board, but somehow Joy Reid's stayed steady. So make it make sense. It didn't like she lost sponsorships. Because she didn't. Hell, she might have gained more. And what you have caused is what CNN did to Don Lemon. I love the way Don Lemon is now because he's uncut, unprovoked. He does not have to bite his tongue. He has his own network, and we support Don Lemon. Joy Reid, if you listen to me, and why you should you? Because I'm kind of low on the totem pole, but it is what it is. I got a voice too. We will support you no matter what you do. So if you're gonna do the Don Lemon type deal, do it. We're gonna support you. You know what I'm saying? We definitely will support you in anything you would do. Matter of fact, Miss Joy Reid, take it down, man. Take that bow. Because you and Rachel Maddow honestly have carried MSNBC for like 3-4 years, keeping it all the way funky. Whatever you decide to do, your brothers and sisters will be there. Those that love and support you on this show, we're going to double and triple it that way. Because here's the danger part. You have now will become independent media, which a lot of people such as myself are going to, because we want the truth, even if it's harsh. We want the truth. We don't want panels and some lollygag and lollipop spin. No, man. Tell us what this motherfucker doing. Tell us what Congress is doing. Tell us what the world is going on. Because as the world changes, America wants to stay the same and be in this bubble. You give us the ability to see beyond the bubble. So please go the Don Lemon route. Take a break. You have well deserved it. But when you come back on your own, be vicious with it. Speaking of vicious, though, I got to go. Once again, thank you to my sponsor, Rose Sweets LLC. That's Rose Sweets LLC, the best cupcakes and cake pops in the DMV area. Small based business, small female, black owned business in Southern Maryland. You can reach them at row_sweets_LLC at gmail.com. Oh, excuse me. Let me correct myself. On Facebook, row_sweets_LLC on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also reach them at row_sweets_LLC at gmail.com. And row is spelled RO. They are taking a little hiatus until spring because the owner of the business had a little one. But you can still look up and see what they got. Also, thank you once again for Riverside.fm for giving me the platform to show my face and give this voice to the masses on both Spotify, excuse me, not both, on Spotify, Apple, and iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcast from. And once again, please like, share, and subscribe to Hey Yo with D. Shelton. Like, share, subscribe, those beautiful 3 words. Like, share, subscribe, and also on the website, yes, my website, www.heyodshelton.com. And Hey Yo D Shelton is just how it sounds. H like Harry, E like Edward, Y like yellow, Y like yellow, O like Oscar, D like David, S like Sam, H like Harry, E like Edward, L like Larry, T like Tom, O like Oscar, N like Nancy.com. And if you want to throw your boy a couple bucks, when you go to the website, little donate button says buy me a coffee. Click that little link, hook your boy up with a cappuccino or something. But I'm going to bid you adieu. You'll see me again. It won't be, I won't take 2 weeks this time. I promise. Scout's honor. But as I always tell you all, when I leave, may Father and ancestors take care of you, your loved ones, and anybody else you care about. I will see y'all when I see y'all. Peace.